Hey everyone, before we start today's speed run, I just want to thank you all for helping me get over 400 subscribers this past weekend. This is just quite the journey for me, and I just wanted to say thank you all for everything. Now let's get straight into the speed run. Alright, almost to 1600. Let's play the Scotch Gambit, one of my favorite opening. In fact, this guy's the same rating as me. Let's do it. Alright. This is what I like to play. So if they want to go into a French, I'm completely down to go into a French. If they want to go into an Alpin, we can go into an Alpin as well. But I actually like to go into D3 variations because this is, as you guys know, similar to a Philidor position over here. So we're just going to go for the same setup as we usually do. Now my opponent's not been going for this idea of D5, which is actually good for me because I can get D4 in very quickly, which is pretty good for me. So we need to play A4, stop this B5 idea, and when I play D4, well then this bishop's also stopping B5 a little bit more too. Now this knight does not belong here for sure, so I'm going to do this weird maneuver in which I'm going to move the knight back so I can put it on C3. It's a little bit slow, but I think I have the time to do it because my opponent's not really doing much either. Yep, so we push. Alright, so here we have a couple options actually. Do I play here, but then he can play there? Let's play knight c3. This is a very common move in these positions. Now here I cannot win that, unfortunately. So we just move our queen over here. We just attack the knight, put a little bit of pressure on it. And now he also gives me this square, but I don't want to use it yet. So let's move this bishop somewhere. Where would it be nice? Let's put it on e3. We can put one of our rooks on c1 now. Probably this rook on e file because it's done its job here. So let's put this guy over here. So now we can threaten to like take stuff. So my opponent has to move the queen, as you guys can see. And maybe I can put my my bishop over here. And my opponent's getting pushed back. So the question is, should I force my opponent to capture me? And I think I should. So let's play this move over here. So he has to either capture me on c3. Actually, let's move here because I want to play f3. Because I want my opponent to capture me here. So now, do I en passant? The answer is most likely not. Let's just play here. Just ask him to take me. My opponent says no, which is a-okay for me. Now, do I play here and just threaten to capture? Do I play h4? h4 looks a little bit spooky, so don't want to do that. Do I just play f4? No, f4 allows the knight to go back. So now I have to ask myself what I want to do. I think I want to move this knight here. So then I can maybe plot my knight to f4, and if they capture me, that's completely fine as well. I'm not scared of these f5 ideas. Nothing really scary here. Because I can just move back. Opponent doesn't really have an attack, and now I have an open attack over here as well. So there's a couple ideas I can do here. Let's move the knight back actually, and just target f4. He's probably going to play pawn g4, g5 I mean, but that creates some light square weaknesses for him. I can just take advantage, maybe play rook c3, queen c2, some annoying stuff over here. My opponent just gives this up, but he might be trying to go for this, so instead I'll take this other free pawn my opponent gives me. Alright, they exchange. He wants to take here, but then I can take his bishop, so that doesn't quite work for my opponent. I'm threatening something like this. Alright, so my opponent does that. Let me just defend my pawn. He might play bishop c6. Then I could play like here or knight c3. I'm not really taking f4 because, again, he has some discovered attacks here, which are a little bit annoying, so I don't want to deal with that. Should I play bishop b5 or should I play queen c2 here? Queen c2 threatening this move over here. My opponent has to play something like, oh, I guess not. Just allows me to take here, which is of course good for me. Let's just move my bishop over here. He's going to try to trade off pieces with rook c8. Well, I guess not. Doing a lot of things I'm not expecting. Right, let's play b3. Just protect my a4 pawn. He might play bishop a3. That's a little bit annoying. That's fine though. My knight's under attack, and that's annoying. I can't really move it anywhere. Do I want to pin myself? Oh no, I'm running out of time. Need to play fast. Hi. Maybe I can play bishop here, trade off that bishop. move this back. Take here with the king. Queen captures, I lose the rook, so I need to play faster. Play fast. Alright, I have the open file now. Also attacking this pawn over here. Alright, let's take it. Alright, let's take this too. Do I have a checkmate? Actually, let's just take here. Let's just defend my king from any attacks over here. And this should be just an easy win from here. Alright, let's put my king on the safe square. Let's play h4, h5. Alright. Oh, that was a free queen, so I didn't notice that. But that's fine. This is still winning. I can just pre-move the rest of the moves until I win. Make sure none of his pawns can actually move, and none of them can, and so I win this one. Not bad. That was just an easy win. Consolidation. Alright, my opponent's not going for any attacks here. So, oh, that's a peculiar move. You don't see that too often. Let's play pawn c4. This reminds me of like a Queen's Indian, but just not a very good one. Bishop doesn't belong here, in case you guys couldn't tell. Now, do I want to play f3? Just play knight f3. Knight f3 is just normal. Queen here, just pressure the bishop, but then he just moves back, and then I'm just looking kind of silly here. Let's try to trade off pieces. This his amazing bishop. One advice that I want to give you guys is don't move e6 and g6 at the same time, because you create a lot of weaknesses. I can play h4, he's going to play h5. Guess not. This is a free pawn, isn't it? Or do I want to threaten this? Actually, let's play h5. If I can get h5 in, it's more important than anything really happening over here. Can I take here? If he takes my knight, queen check. Obviously, he can't go back. He has to move up here. Yeah, that's checkmate, so I get to take here first. And I just win here. I don't know what my opponent was doing in this game. Kind of silly of him. Alright, now we take here. On h7. Open h-files against your opponent is just GG. It's just an easy win. Let's take here. And I guess, do we take here? Yep, we take over there. Ooh, they take over there. Interesting. Didn't expect that one. Can't I just play something like bishop here and win the rook? Sure, he gets this, but I can just play rook b1 and stop my opponent from going there. Check doesn't really matter because I have knight d2. Does he have rook captures here? Don't think so. And this knight protects this rook over here. I get to take his rook to the next move. Alright, so he's threatening check down here. Can I just castle? No, I cannot. Now if I take here, queen check down there, and I play king here, he has like rook capture here, you know, it should be fine. Just play king e2. Rook captures most likely. Again, all I want to do is make sure he cannot, he allows me to capture here. But I think he's trying to come down here, but I don't think there's any threats, so let's just capture this big pawn. That's very annoying. Let's play f3, defend everything. Make sure f2 is not a threat. And I'm threatening this knight too now. Then next move I can play something like queen h2, just trade off pieces. We are up a lot of material, and because we're up so much material in this position, like, we just win. So, alright, let's play queen h2. Oh, oops, though I did forget about this one over here, but that's fine, because there's no threats after I play king here. And I'm still threatening some check over here, which can lead to checkmate, so my opponent has to be careful about that. I think exchanging is kind of forced here. So in hindsight, this wasn't really a blunder, but I really shouldn't be allowing those moves because they are quite annoying. So I guess we just check down here. And we can force the trade of queens here, though I'm sure there's probably something better. Force a trade of queens. This should force it somewhere better actually, because now the queen has to block and I can capture. Then I capture here, then I capture the knight, and I win a knight as well. So as you guys can see, I'm up 8 material. And 8 material is good enough, so don't know why my opponent's not resigning. I have plenty of time on my clock, so there's nothing to worry about there. Okay, I guess we're just going to play something like this, attack that knight. We move our piece back. And I guess given the chance, I'll go for this. I mean, the less pieces on the board, the easier it is for me to win, right? So. Let's go here. Let's take here. Alright, and my opponent eventually resigned. Alright, let's try to get over 1600. Hopefully no losses. You know what? Since a lot of you guys really like Philidor, I'll show you how to play Philidor as white. So basically you do the same thing. And my opponent's going to play e5. Nope. And then you just try to play e4. Now, you might ask, why don't you play e4 in the first move? And yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you could. Now, this position, if you check the engine, just slightly better for me, for white. So you're never scared of the exchange variations in the Philidor. Do I want to play b4, queen a4? Queen a4 is interesting. Actually, I can capture there because look at these bad pawns over here. Play queen a4, attack that pawn. Yep, I castle, rook e1. Just play knight c4. Create some threats. Actually, I can play b4, but I like knight c4 better. Make sure it doesn't blunder anything. Yep, knight c4. If he wants to exchange the bishop, then that's very good for me. Because I get b4 and bishop e3, I get dark square, just domination. If he doesn't, then I just win this pawn. And this is something I've told you guys many times before. So many people at this level just give up the center for some reason. And if you give up the center, you generally, it's going to be very hard to win. Let's just say that. Now here, do I capture this or is this kind of risky? Bishop d7 looks like a threat, so I can't really take there. So I can play bishop f4, maybe create my own threat, maybe knight g3 or something. Bishop f4, the bishop is hanging, so that's kind of scary. So, actually let's just play knight back. I mean, or can I play knight back here? No, I like knight back here. Just protect the rook, threat in e5. Yep, this looks good. Bishop can't move out because he takes on b2 as well, which is annoying. We're having a threat here though. Our opponent says no. Let's play h3, kick the knight away. Make sure there's no checkmates. Alright, let's do that. If he comes here, which makes the most sense, I'll just capture it, trading off pieces. Oh, he doesn't. He just lets me play pawn e5. Alright, pawn e5 lets me fork the two pieces, so. Again, I still have some problems here because my bishop's not developed and it's hard for me to develop it. But I might even sacrifice the b2 pawn at this point because I am up a piece. When you're up material, all you want to do is make the game as simple as possible. And so we won this game, not too bad. Alright, Philidor is white, it's quite strong, it's one of my tools. 4 whites in a row, that's weird. Alright, let's do another Philidor just for you guys. In fact, one of my favorite games I played was against, I think, a FIDE master, and I beat him with pawn a3, transposing to a Philidor. Now, should you do this all the time? No. But the idea is basically, if it's good for black, then it's definitely good for white as well. Because you are just up a tempo. So, let's see, my opponent was thinking of taking on f2, but it doesn't work. Alright, now I get b4, b5, very strong. He has to put the bishop back here, otherwise this move over here wins the pawn in the center. And as I said before, so many people just, forget about the pawn in the center for some reason. I really don't know why. If you guys cared about the pawn in the center, well, a lot of these situations wouldn't occur. I can just play knight back here and just trade off. Or do I want to use this knight? Both seem pretty strong. Alright, so this move allows knight here, which is a little bit funny. Or do I want to do this knight instead? Let's do this knight. So he doesn't get to exchange pieces, and I get to exchange the bishop off for sure, guaranteed. That bishop's a very strong piece, and it's probably the scariest piece you guys should be afraid of when you guys are playing against the Philidor. I mean, when you guys are playing the Philidor. Let's just capture there. If he's good, he'll capture this way. Let's play bishop c4, get my bishop a little bit active. And now I can play f3 to protect my e4 pawn. Now, alright, he's attacking this pawn, so I need to protect it, of course. Also protecting e4 a little bit more. I can play f4. f4, he has there. That's annoying. Just capture. Trade off pieces. Huh. Interesting. Wasn't expecting this, to be honest. Now this pawn is hanging. If I play f4, he can take there, or you can play queen c5 check. Play here, he takes my thing, so I can play a4, but then are there any tactics? Doesn't seem like it. I can also play bishop a3 in the future. This is very strong. Now here he's threatening checkmate. If I play here, he just takes, so I have to play pawn to g3. So my opponent's starting to attack against my king, which is a little bit annoying, but we can defend against it for sure. Alright, I guess we just play h4. Or can we defend against it? Seems to me we're getting attacked quite quickly here. Not too good here. Now, I don't know if he's threatening something like that. Now, do I play rook e1? If he sacrifices, no, it doesn't quite work. He is threatening to sacrifice. I can play knight c4. If he sacrifices, then I have this f3 move. Yeah, this should work. If he wants to sack, he can sack it, then I have pawn f3. Which looks pretty strong. Because it defends the pawn here, and it also allows the queen to do a second rank defense here. And if he checks, well then, queen g2 blocks. So again, I am up material, so all I need to do is make the game as little complicated as possible. Alright, let's try to trade off pieces. Up material, trade off pieces. That's all you want to do. This was a worthy attempt by my opponent. In fact, if he played a little bit better, there was potential of a win. But I think after this move, my opponent can't move back here, because then I just trade off queens. And then once I trade off queens, as you guys know, this is my territory. This is where I thrive in. Just basically winning up material. As I'm trying to show you guys, I'm not trying to go for any openings that have any like complicated lines or complicated openings or anything. The openings that I'm going for to teach you guys how to basically climb up at the rating that you guys are at is basically just play simple stuff. Like this opening for sure is not the best opening out there, but you guys don't really need very good techniques or anything to win chess games. All you guys really need is basically know how to convert and win your opponent's free pieces. And if you guys do that, I can promise you guys will improve very quickly. It's very simple. Now, my opponent's trying to go for like c5, e5 ideas, in which maybe he can move the rook down there, though that was a little bit silly. And the best thing about converting is that once you guys are up material, once you guys have basically guaranteed the win, all you have to do is promote the pawn. And once you push the pawn all the way to the end, you get to the end a little bit more, like this. And you win the game. Kick the knight out. Once knight moves, we have rook b8 check and we win the game. Simple as that. Oh, we're kind of low on time. Didn't really notice that. But yeah. Not bad, not bad. So I guess if we were to do a moral of the day today in these chess games, I guess the moral would be basically, well, play simple chess and convert. It's usually just that, if you guys want to win. Play normally, don't go for any big brain plans. My plans have always just revolved around taking the e5 pawn, e4 pawn, and as I said before, people blunder their center pawns all the time. And if you guys can take advantage of that, I can promise you guys sweet success will happen very much. Alright, thank you so much everybody for listening today. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to press like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, ask me in the comment section below, and I'll teach you guys what you guys need to know to be successful in chess. Alright, see ya guys.